Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hannah Olson and I live in Minnesota with my husband and our 3 young children, and I am pregnant. Don't know if you can tell here, due with our 4th baby at the end of January. So that's very exciting. And I usually share about all things motherhood, homemaking, and homeschooling. And this video is definitely along those topics. I wanted to share about how I organize our kids' clothing for in a smaller space. And I wouldn't say our house is super tiny. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath house. It's definitely a wonderful sized house. But what I mean is I keep things pretty minimal, and we have a couple kids sharing a room. And with us due with our 4th baby before too long here, I want to stay intentional, and I always try to stay intentional and on top of our kids' clothing system so that it doesn't get overwhelming. And basically each of our kids don't have their own whole room, their own whole dresser even, or their own whole entire closet. So I wanted to take you along for a little quick tour of how I organize our 3 kids' clothing. All right, I'm going to show you down here our sock system and our shoes and jackets, because that's part of clothing for sure. So I'll start with shoes because it's just easy to see right here. So this is our small entryway. This is a very realistic look. I didn't even really sweep before I showed you this. So it's a small entryway in our house, but I really love it actually. It's a wonderful part of any house, I think, having an entryway for shoes and stuff to land. So anyway, I've got 4 bins here. I've got my husband's shoes, and then eventually when our 4th child is born, I will move myself out of a bin and just have my shoes loose as well. I don't have a lot of shoes, but I'll show you the kids' bins because that's the focus of today's video. So everyone's bins are labeled just with my cheap label maker. I've done this for my kitchen as well. I love labeling things, not overly labeling, but anyway. We've got Sophie's here. This one says Mama. These are Svea's shoes, and then we've got Soren's over here. I put Svea's down here as soon as she had enough shoes where she would actually know to reach them and grab them. Ever since she was really young, she's always been trying to reach her shoes and put them on herself. So I wanted that nice and down low for her. I will show you our sock system in a second, and that includes Svea's socks are actually in there. And then over here where I keep our diaper backpack, I've got our seasonal jackets or coats. So I don't have our winter coats out yet because I'm filming this video at the very end of September. And right now, and for a lot of the year, we have what I call fleeces. These are those Columbia jackets. So this one's mine. We've got Sophie, Svea, and Soren's right here. I actually have an extra one I need to get rid of. Also for this time of year, I've got everyone's raincoats here. We've got Sophie's, Svea's, mine, and Soren's right here. So that's pretty doable, not too overwhelming. I also have a few extra hangers up here for when we have guests and stuff. But that is the general seasonal coat situation and their shoes. All right, now we're going to talk about our socks system, which I feel is life-changing. I know I've shared about this before, but I have to again because it's a very specific way of doing it. I have got one specific sock style or color per child. That will probably change slightly when we have a 4th child, but for now it is awesome with 3. And again, my kids' ages are 7.5, 5.5, and 2.5. So Sophie, our oldest, only has white socks. This is why this system is life-changing, because I got tired years ago of going through like various designs of pink socks and all sorts of other kinds of designs and colors, and trying to remember whose socks are whose. So Sophie and Soren get, they're these socks that come in a pack actually of like age 4 through 7. That's what the size is. So since that size worked out well for the 2 of them, I got this big like variety pack that had both black and white in them, and I can link that down below for you too if you're interested. So Sophie knows to always grab white socks out of this bin, this basket, when it's time to get socks and shoes on, because that always comes together. And Soren knows to always grab black socks. The reason I store socks here in the entryway is because when you're trying to leave the house, it is time to get socks and shoes on. That's always how it goes, right? Moms say socks and shoes on. Oh no, you don't have socks? You have to run back upstairs and get socks. I didn't want that kind of a situation happening where we're always running back up the stairs to put on socks. Now my husband does keep his socks upstairs. I'm not going to dictate his sock system, but it works so well for the kids and for me too. I know this is a long explanation, but it really means a lot to me to have a system that works so well, so I wanted to share it with you. So anyway, Sophie's and Soren socks are all here, big pile of them up in the front, and it's easy for them to grab and go. They're all hooked together or matched, folded together. Then, I know it's super fancy looking, but I have a Ziploc gallon-sized bag here that says Mama's Socks. This is where I keep all of my socks. I have these, I probably need new socks. These are no-show socks. So these are my socks. I guess you're not watching this video to see what kind of socks I have. And then in the back here, I know it's pushed down because it's only a system, it's only something I pull out, so I want the kids to see this it's most accessible. But this is the bag of socks without matches, or as I say it, socks without friends when we're matching socks. In this bag, I keep socks that I can't find a match for. I don't just leave them loose in here because that's confusing when we're all digging around and we're trying to leave the house. All the socks that, you know, inevitably don't have a match, they go in here, and I go through this probably 3 times a week at this point because it's so easy to do. And I see if I've thrown maybe 2, oh here it is, 2 of Soren's black socks in there. So those actually need to get folded together and popped back where he can grab them. And with this system, I've been able to match loose or missing socks. I've even thrown away socks that for like months have had no match and you know it's just totally gone. So anyway, my socks, the socks without friends, and then Sophie and Soren's socks are right here, easy to grab and go. And then down here in Svea's bin, since she's short, she's a 2-year-old, and this makes, I think, more sense to her, I keep all of her socks matched up and just loose in her bin here with her shoes, because it's easy enough for her to grab her own socks and her own shoes that way. So that is our life-changing sock system, and I am being totally honest when I say it is life-changing. So I highly recommend keeping your socks downstairs and trying a system like this. Honestly, I think when Svea is older and it's harder for me to tell that it's her socks because hers have grippies on the bottom, I will probably have her have socks that are gray. I think this company, or you know, any sock company, sells plain gray socks. Just keeping it neutral is just awesome. To the left in our master closet is kind of like one type of closet, and it's like a cedar plank lined closet. And then off to the right is where Bjorn's and my clothing is. And I like to store all of our winter coats tucked away to the left in here. Okay, I decided to show you. This is where Bjorn's suits are, but then also our winter coats. And so that'll be easy enough for me to find and pull out when the time comes for us to actually need winter coats. I'm kind of dreading winter, as I do every year, but it'll be fine. And we store our coats here, even the adults' winter coats. So we will be all set when it's time to pull that out, but downstairs are the kids' fleeces and, you know, lightweight jackets. Okay, Sophie and Soren share a room. That is our 7.5-year-old and 5.5-year-old. And behind the left curtain here, we've got our Lego table. And behind the right curtain in their room is, which I took the closet doors off, by the way, when I was painting this house, and so now we just use a curtain. I love it this way. I wanted this kind of a look and feel. So anyway, to the right here, we've got their dresser. And this is a dresser we got when Sophie was, when we were expecting Sophie. So it's been around for a while. It's a 5-drawer dresser, and Sophie and Soren share this dresser. So I wanted to walk you through it and just see how I store their clothing. You'll have to ignore the creaky floors here. Our house is over 100 years old, which is awesome, but a little creaky. So in the top drawer of these 5 drawers is the kids' medicine. And historically, they have not been, you know, rummaging in here and taking medicine. So far, and stuff is usually childproof, I feel comfortable having it in there. So I actually don't utilize this drawer for the kids' clothing. I have Sophie in the 2 top drawers and Soren in the 2 bottom drawers. We're not minimalists. I hope we're minimal-ish, but you'll definitely see more than like 4 shirts or something like that. So here in Sophie's top dresser drawer of her 2 drawers, by the way, these are awesome drawer dividers. I will try to link them down below. They help so much when you're trying to organize even in a small space, just to keep things subdivided so you're not rummaging and rifling through all sorts of loose items. Here on the left is where she has underwear. I have it covered up with a sweater for her privacy, of course. And over here, I've got short sleeve t-shirts. So it kind of goes with like levels of warmth. So we've got short sleeve and then long sleeve shirts or sweaters. I don't have this labeled or anything because I think it's pretty self-explanatory and the kids have been able to figure that out over time. So this is short sleeve, long sleeve. Next is Sophie's second drawer, and that includes shorts, long pants, so like short pants, long pants, and pajamas. This is usually full, but I actually have some laundry I need to fold. Well, I don't really fold, that's another thing, but I have laundry I need to get put away. I do not fold the kids' clothes. I mean, maybe you'll see some stuff folded slightly like this, but I have found that I don't have time or the desire, I guess. I don't prioritize folding clothing, and our life has been just fine that way. I fold things like my own jeans and stuff, but anyway, this works out great. So Sophie's got her long pants, shorts, and pajamas here. That's pretty much all she needs to reach for on a daily basis. Moving down here to the bottom 2 drawers, these are Soren's 2 drawers. I kind of just chose it this way because of not only their birth order, and that helps me keep things organized and maybe for them, but also because like for a long time he was so much shorter and now he's catching up to Sophie in height. But you know, I like to have stuff for the shorter kids down lower. So this is Soren's top drawer here. This would be underwear, and I have that covered up for his privacy. We've got short sleeve t-shirts here and his long sleeve sweaters and long sleeve shirts. I actually should probably expand. These are nice dividers because you can slide them over, and then when you push this button down, it tightens again. So anyway, he needs a little more room for his sweaters and stuff, and there's probably a couple in here that he's outgrown that I need to go through so that it is truly more minimal. But he's got kind of some sweatshirts. Mostly it's like long sleeve t-shirts in here, and his t-shirt, short sleeve shirts. Then down here we've got shorts, lots and lots of shorts. He loves khaki shorts. He loves them more than jeans. So he's got jeans here as well. I probably need to go through these. He's recently had a growth spurt. So I'll go through those again. But as you can see, I mean, things do fit pretty nicely. The drawers close and everything like that, and the kids can find what they need. And then his pajamas are over here. So that is the kids' dresser. I think it works really, really well. I love that they have this system. I love also that I can hide it behind a curtain. Always nice to be able to hide things, because if a child leaves a dresser drawer cracked open or some clothes are inevitably, you know, tugged out and they ran away without pushing the drawer closed. Anyway, it's always nice to be able to hide mess, although I guess I would probably just push it in myself. Okay, we're going to move on to the top of the dresser here. I actually have some medicine and thermometers and stuff. Anyway, I've got their uniforms, for lack of a better word. I guess Soren has a uniform. Sophie has maybe a uniform. This is for their extracurricular activities. Sophie's got a basket. These are just baskets I got from a garage sale or something. Sophie's got a basket. Soren's got a basket. I need to find a little basket for Svea so that I keep everyone's uniforms together here. But Sophie is in dance. She's in ballet and tap. So she's got some of her, I don't want to crinkle too loudly here, her hair stuff. I guess I'll pull it out. She's got her dance bag that says Sophie. Some extra tights are down here, but basically what we need to grab and go, like her leotard and tights and tap shoes and ballet shoes, they're all in here. And then over here we've got Soren's uniform. Well, usually he's in Taekwondo, so that's his belt, and I have an extra t-shirt for him to wear under his uniform and stuff like that. His uniform is actually getting its, what's it called? The screen printed thing put on. So we have to pick it up next week. But usually that uniform is in there as well. And then a cute little 2.5-year-old Svea is in a mommy and me dance class, and she has little ballet stuff for that because all the kids wear their little ballet outfits. It's so cute. And I need to get a little basket for her. But this is her like leotard, extra tights, of course, stuff like that. Okay, let's look in the corner of the closet here. This is just where I hang up, let's see. Soren has like 2 dress shirts, long sleeve shirts. He doesn't wear that kind of thing very often, even for church. It's usually like some short sleeve polo or t-shirt, or maybe a long sleeve sweater that he has in his drawer. But those are up there. Sophie's got a jean jacket, and this is where I also hang her, like jean jacket and her cardigans. She has just a couple cardigans, and then she's got some short sleeve and long sleeve dresses. There's another cardigan, a dress here. Nothing too intense, but then when Svea gets older, I will be hanging Svea's dresses. For now, she's just got size 2T dresses, so Svea's can just get put in her drawer, which I will also show you where her stuff is because clearly it's not in this room. But anyway, that's really, really doable. I love how it's pretty minimal, and again, you can hide it all behind the curtain. So that is where the kids' clothing is, and I feel like it's a really workable system for us. But now I'm going to show you where we keep Svea's clothing. Okay, so now I am in the master bedroom. Bjorn's in my room, and Svea's clothing is actually in this dresser, and she shares a dresser with me. So my stuff is on the left, Svea's stuff is on the right. And she and I did this also when we were at an apartment. When we were living at an apartment for a while, she shared a dresser with me, and it worked out so well. This is actually a dresser that I sanded and painted and stuff myself, and I really love how it all turned out. So Svea has 3 drawers here, and this is a realistic look. I did not do extra organizing before showing you this. Here she's got, again, the nice drawer dividers or organizers. She's got short sleeve shirts here. Then she's got long sleeve shirts or sweaters here. I also include a little cardigans because she's so little still. Her little cardigans go in this side of her dresser drawer too. The next drawer down has, kind of similar to the big kids, we've got her shorts followed by pants. There's a lot of room left in here. I wonder if I could utilize it a little bit better, but you know, as she gets older, it's nice to know there's a lot of room for growth. And then down here in her bottom drawer, we've got her dresses on the left, a divider, and then here's a big sleep sack for winter. Sleep sacks, but mostly pajamas here on the right. So her jammies and her dresses, which, as I mentioned, I will hang these up probably as she gets older, but it's not like they're material that looks bad when it's slightly rumpled or something. So no, there's not folding going on here, but I love how easy of a system it is. Maybe that's why I love how easy of a system it is. She's got these 3 drawers, and it serves her really well. A quick explanation about what I think I'll do when we have this baby, our 4th baby. Maybe I didn't show you super well. So exciting. When we have this baby, I will probably move myself entirely out of my dresser. The stuff I have in the dresser isn't like necessarily dresser worthy. It's just where I stash it, like pajamas. I could put my pajamas in our master closet, kind of with some of my sweaters and dresses that are hung up, but I could put pajamas in a bin or a basket. There are a lot of ways for me to handle it. And right now I am utilizing the space. I've got like all my jeans down here and stuff, but it's not necessarily something I have to have. I'm not like clinging to this dresser. I love how the dresser looks, but it's not like my clothes have to be in it. I just want to utilize our space wisely, especially as we're adding another child to the family. So what I'll probably end up doing is keeping Svea in this dresser for quite some time until her clothes somehow are way too big to be stuffed in there, but I can't really see that being a problem for a long time. And then I want the new baby's stuff in the left here. I think it'll make it really easy to dress the toddler and the baby if all their stuff is right there together in one area. And then Sophie and Soren are our independent dressers, of course. And so their stuff is in their room. When I tell them to get dressed, they know what to do. So that is our system. And that is it for today's video. I hope it was fun for you to see a brief little tour of how we handle clothing here. Again, it's not a very, very small house. I love this house so much. It's an older house though, and I feel like in older houses you have to learn to utilize the space intentionally without everyone, like I said earlier, getting their own closet and their very own room. Like, it's not like everyone has a walk-in closet or everyone has their own giant dresser, and it doesn't need to be that way. And of course, we can keep reevaluating and tweaking systems as the kids get older, but for now it's working really well, and I think it will continue to work well for a number of years. So thanks again for being here, and thank you for watching. If you like this style of video, please give it a thumbs up so I know to make more content like this, and I would be so honored if you would choose to stick around and hit that subscribe button. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.